The Ford F-Series pickup truck has been the #1 selling vehicle in North America for probably longer than most of you watching have been alive. Over 4 decades, that's right. So for 2021, this is a big deal because this is an all-new Ford F-150, all new from the outside, in the bed, inside, and especially under the hood. So today we're going to find out if this new F-150 has got what it takes to remain #1. Well, there are options when you buy an F-150. This has the Lariat package. There are 11 different types of grills. Underneath you have a box frame with high tensile steel wrapped with aluminum. You have optional LED lamps on this. I like the lighting. It's very subtle, this LED lighting here, and the lighting everywhere. This one has lighting on the mirrors, which are controlled by the inside. You have lighting in the truck bed as well as the tailgate. And what I like is when you come up to this vehicle, especially at nighttime, all the lights come on for you when you approach the vehicle if you have the key fob in. And this one has the optional power running boards, and they deploy before you get to the vehicle as well. So when you get to the vehicle, they're already down. You just grab, open, and you get in. You close the door if this vehicle was off, and they will suck back up, and it works for all the doors. This is equipped with 20-inch wheels. The new F-150's fenders are higher, and it's a little bit wider here. Now in the back, this is really, really cool. And in case you're wondering, hey, this scene looks a little bit different from the last location. You're absolutely correct, because as you can see, it started pouring rain, and I think it might pour rain again. Anyways, it's the next day right now. A lot going on in the back, like a ton of things. Of course, you have the LED tail lamps. You can't miss that this is an F-150. It's emblazoned right across the tailgate. Speaking of tailgate, here is your LED light in the tailgate that I mentioned that comes on, and there's your rear view camera. There's also another camera above the truck bed, so if you actually want to take a look at your cargo, for instance, when you're driving, you can actually check that out. Now, check this out. You have a powered tailgate, but not just power down, it's also power up. And this is a very, very multi-function tailgate. You have a built-in ruler. You have clamp pockets. So if you want to clamp something down, say a piece of wood to cut, no problem. You can clamp down there on either side. You have some tie-down hooks here, and this also doubles as a bottle opener, drink holder. You can put your pencils here or your writing materials, and it even has a spot for your phone or your tablet. You can put those down right there. Now, one feature that is not new to the F-150, however, I would definitely get it, is the tailgate step and handle. I moved this week, and I'm telling you, this was coming out every time I got to wherever I was going. Just, it is the best invention ever for a pickup truck. I think it'd be silly not to get this option. Absolutely silly. And as I get older, it even becomes more and more important. Okay, so if you go for the PowerBoost, which is the hybrid that this one is here, it automatically comes standard with Pro Power Onboard. Essentially, it's an onboard generator. It uses the hybrid system to power, give you power, and so you have your outlets here. Now you get 2.4 kilowatts of power standard. If you want more power, you can get an optional Pro Power Onboard that gives you 7.2 kilowatts of power, and that's what this is equipped with. So we have 2 plugs here, 2 plugs. These are 120 volts, 20 amp service, and then you have a 240 plug with 30 amp service. So in case you're wondering, wow, what can that power? You know, can you charge batteries? Absolutely. You could basically power an entire crew in a construction area. Let's just say you could go with a miter saw, a gang charger, a plasma cutter, arc welder, flood lamps, all of those things, but not just like one at a time. We're talking you could use all of those at the same time. Yeah, that's amazing. So imagine if you weren't using it for work, all the pleasure purposes. So you're going camping, you're going tailgating, you could power a big screen TV, a microwave, a blow dryer. You could even get a portable hot tub, and this will power the pump and the heater as well. Like all of this available with this. And the best thing, if your house loses power, you know, in Texas, they actually had some big power outages out there not too long ago, and there was an actual story about a gentleman that used his ProPower Onboard to power his house. So all of the appliances, all your things in the freezer didn't go bad. It will power that running your F-150. So much going on in the back here. So for me, if I was going for the hybrid option, I think I really would opt for the $1,000 option for that 7.2 kilowatt version. Now let's put that tailgate back up, power up, let's take a look inside. Well, Ford didn't just stop at the exterior when redesigning the F-150. Let's have a little tour of the interior, which is all new, and I have to say it looks pretty good, and they really had to really improve it compared to the Ram. The Ram has been kind of the leader in the interior for a few years. Steering wheel, leather steering wheel, you have redundant controls, of course. You have a 12.3-inch instrument gauge set, or your digital cockpit, like a lot of people call it. On the side, you have lots of storage, and what I kind of like, I like the height of the actual side of the window. It has a natural feel for me for putting my arm, resting my arm there. Up front, if you get the Lariat and up, you get the standard 12-inch screen now. Other than that, you get an 8-inch screen. But man, oh man, this screen, it's crisp. It's easy to use. It has the latest sync system. It has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, wireless as well. Two things I have to commend Ford for. One is this beautiful high-resolution 12-inch display is integrated. It's inset right into the dash. It's part of the actual design. It's not a tablet style that's sitting on top. That's a big bonus. And also, they retained almost all the buttons and knobs. So your climate control, you get actual knobs to actually adjust your temperature. You have knobs for your volume and your tuning. Up top, you have actual dedicated knobs for your automatic parking, for your camera systems, which, by the way, this has a rear backup camera as well as a 360 camera, and you have all different angles, which is really nice, especially if you're trailering. But actual real tactile knobs, you gotta love that. And the interior doesn't miss out on the power. It's not just for the rear bed. Here you have a 120 volt, 20 amp service plug right here. Also, you open this up, you have a USB-A and a USB-C. Now, here comes the real cool, interesting stuff. You can get, as an option, an interior workspace feature. So let's start this up right now, just so we have some power. All right, okay, so let's say we're parked right now. I'm gonna push this button. Down goes the gear shift. It is nice and flat, and we can take this armrest, split it in two. You have a completely flat work area. So you have your tablet, your computer, some blueprints, or just have your lunch on it. That is really, really cool. And another really cool feature, this Lariat is not equipped with it, is it's a new seat recline feature, and of course all seats recline. However, this new recline, it folds, or basically reclines the backrest to 180 degrees, and the seat bottom actually comes up to match it. So you have a flat sleeping area or resting area. So maybe, you know, hey, on your lunch break, you finished early and you want to have a nap, hey, why not? This Lariat is also equipped with an optional B&O stereo system. You have speakers everywhere, including even the headrest here. And this is also equipped with a 2-panel sliding sunroof as well. I really am impressed with how well this new sync system works, especially with the larger screen, more real estate. It's very intuitive, it's easy to use, you get a lot of information from it. In fact, there's no more big, huge book for a manual. It's all integrated into the system as well. You have your trip meters, you have your power consumption of using that generator. There's just a wealth of information at your fingertips, and once again, very, very easy to use. Now, let's take a look in the back. Man, oh man, the interior of pickup trucks nowadays are just getting massive. Back here, it's like limo seating. This seat in front of me is not set to where I would actually be sitting because it has the easy entrance and exit, so that it has pushed itself back, yet there's still so much room. 3 passengers will fit back here. You do have an armrest and a drink holder, 3 headrests, and one fabulous thing, you have a completely flat floor on here. And not only is that a big bonus to whoever sits in that middle seat, but when you're moving stuff, there's no hump. You can slide longer items in here without having that ridge. And if you need more room, you can just flip the seats up. Both seats flip up for a large cargo area. And this week we were moving, so I used this feature a lot. We moved everything from potted plants to you name it. We moved everything. Very handy. Also available is an actual storage compartment below this, so that a box kind of opens up, and that is an option. Really handy. You can fill it up with things, and once you're done filling it up, you can put the seat back down and no one will ever know that you had anything there. So this one's also equipped with a USB-A and a Type-C, a 120 volt outlet, as well as heated seats. Okay, Brooklyn, ready to go? All right, start her up. We're gonna fold back our table that we had a little picnic on. We are at the ultimate place, our favorite place, Costco. So this was the perfect time to have a pickup truck, because this week we're actually moving. So lots of trips to and from the old house, bringing everything from ladders to, you know, all of our clothes and stuff, and also lots of trips to Costco. Let's hit that button. Up comes that gear shifter, and that table is really handy. So let's talk about now one of the most important things and different about this new F-150, and that's the addition of the brand new hybrid power plant, which is the first in this class of vehicle. There have been other vehicles that have like a mild hybrid system, but this is a full hybrid system. You have an electric motor, you have your gasoline engine. There's no plugging in, so this is not a plug-in hybrid. You drive it like a regular vehicle, but you get a lot of other benefits from it, which we'll talk about in a second. So you get a 3.5 liter EcoBoost engine, V6, and it's matched to a 47 horsepower electric motor and a 1.5 kilowatt hour battery system. Put it all together, you get 430 horsepower combined, and you get 570 pound-feet of torque. For the first couple days of driving this, one thing I really wasn't used to what the torque was like, especially down at 0. It drives essentially like an EV, lots of torque right off the bottom end. And yeah, it's not something that you normally associate with a pickup truck. It's absolutely instant. So that is matched to a 10-speed automatic transmission, lots of gear ratios. I have to admit though, I do find that it's not as seamless in the downshifting. I've noticed on a couple times, and yeah, so you do feel it shifting down, but otherwise lots of ratios. It's fairly smooth, and on the highway where this thing really will excel, especially with 10 speeds, is at about 100 kilometers an hour, you're basically running just above around 1500 RPM. So that's really going to help for fuel economy, as well as having the hybrid system and the aerodynamics of this new truck. As you can hear, it's very quiet in here. If we do, we'll make sure Brooklyn doesn't have a drink in her hand, but if we do step on it, You can hear a little bit of a growl from that V6, otherwise fairly uneventful. It's nice. It's a really, really nice cabin with this new structure they have here. We are going over an extremely bumpy road. This road's been torn up a billion times, and it just sucks everything up. However, it's still, you still feel like you're driving a truck, which is a good thing. You're not driving a car, but it doesn't feel as trucky. You just feel like you're driving a truck with a lot of control. So we're stopped at a light right now. Tachometer, 0. That's a really, really good thing for fuel economy once again, and also good for the environment. And a lot of other vehicles will do that with their auto start stop, but with this full hybrid system, you get an extended version of that sometimes. And depending on if you're in a bumper to bumper traffic, or maybe you're going to the job site and you're doing a lot of stops, you're not turning that engine off. Normally you'd be idling and burning fuel. This one, it's just going to actually just still work without having to start that internal combustion engine up. And that's going to benefit you in the pocketbook as well. Now, hybrids are synonymous with fuel economy, or better fuel economy, and this V6 hybrid system is no different in this pickup truck. Combined, highway and city is 9.8 liters per 100K, so under 10 liters per 100K, which is very, very respectable for a large, full-size pickup truck, I'm telling you. And it's all going to depend on how you drive it. Right now, we are averaging just over 14 liters per 100K. We haven't done a lot of highway driving though, and just a lot of stop and start and stop because of our move. And we're not moving very far either, so they're very, very short trips every return trip that we do. Right by my knee, there is a drive mode button. You can select from 2 high, 4 high, automatic, or 4 low if you need even more control for your all-wheel drive system. Maybe you're going and doing a little bit of off-roading or some rock crawling or something where you need a 4 low, then you do have that. That's on the fly. Now, capabilities, this new F-150 is capable of towing up to 12,000 pounds. Which is extremely impressive. Unfortunately, I have no trailer to pull right now, so I cannot comment on how it will pull, but over 12,000 pounds and over 2,000 pounds of payload in the back as well. I've really enjoyed our week with this F-150, not just because it's been so handy for moving. You can't beat a pickup truck. Well, maybe a full-size van is actually very handy too, but being able to throw things in the back and all the extra features that this has, like the power liftgate, that's handy. The step and the handle to get in, that is extremely handy. That's not a new feature, but it still is one of the best things of a F-150 that you can buy, especially when you're older like me. It gets a little bit tough going up into the back of the bed of the truck, so that is a very welcome option to have. I love the power running boards, and I like the comfort in here. You get the massive 12-inch screen. This latest sync system is very good. The graphics are crystal clear. We have all those surround cameras. This really is a very compelling package, especially if you need a work truck, for instance, but you really don't need another vehicle. Well, this will actually suit all your needs for your work truck, your family vehicle, your just everyday go-around vehicle. This is going to do it. And you know what? I kind of think, why has it taken so long for a manufacturer to come out with a full hybrid pickup truck? Because to me, it makes sense. A lot of times you see these hybrid small compact or subcompact cars, and it is good. However, those vehicles actually get pretty good fuel economy to begin with. It makes sense to put a hybrid system in a vehicle that notoriously gets bad fuel economy, and that is a pickup truck, and it works so well. And by the way, for longevity and reliability, they have tested this truck so rigorously in hot weather, lots of loads, and especially they have individually tested that battery pack for all the different vibrations. They put on years and years and years of testing in a lot of the tests that they do with this system. So it is a proven system. So what's it cost to get into a new F-150 like the one we're driving here, which is the Super Crew Lariat It starts at just over $60,000, and if you add in all the other options that this has, you're going to run yourself up to about $80,000. But that's a lot of options. You know, you have the Pro Power Onboard, and the enhanced version. You have the power running boards. You have the hybrid system. All those things add up, and yeah, so it's going to run you just over 80 grand. But you are getting pretty well the most capable pickup truck on the market today. And not only is it capable, it's comfortable, and with all these new innovations that Ford has come out with this truck, I think it's just going to cement their place at the top of the ladder for probably many more years to come. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked the video, and make sure to subscribe for more everyday reviews. We will see you on the next everyday reviews, and thank you, Brooklyn, for helping us out. So, ciao.
Meow.
Meow.